Hey, welcome back to episode 3 of our solo playthrough of Dungeon Quest. So in our last episode, Tatiana came very close to leaving, and with 1 health left, 1 space away, she almost did it with a record amount of gold, beating our previous character, Kurtzbeck. So I'm really looking forward to this episode. Let's see what happens. So we have 4 remaining characters left. Let's have our D4 decide who the next character is, and it's going to be number 2. 1, 2. And our next character is going to be Chalara and Brightblaze. Okay, so here is Chalara Brightblaze. So the first thing we got to do is give her 12 health on my handy 3D printed life counter. Let's see what her rune card is. It's the teleportation rune. Discard at the end of your status phase to move to any adjacent space and resolve its effects. If you encounter a monster, you cannot escape. We got her catacomb marker and her miniature. Her strength is at 5. She's very agile at 7. Her armor is at 5, and her luck is at 7. So her special abilities are, when you draw a dungeon card, you may discard it and draw another dungeon card as a replacement. You must then resolve this new dungeon card. If you have 8 or more wounds, your combat cards never deal more than 1 wound to the monster per attack. So once again, consulting our dice, we're going to see which entrance she enters from. Number 4, so I think it was 1, 2, 3, 4. So she's going to enter from here. We're going to go that way. And we have found a spider web. One thing I forgot to do on her first turn is advance the sun because of the key. So let's go ahead and test her strength. We need 5 or less. She has received a 4, so she successfully moves forward, and her turn continues. So I'm going to go ahead and pull another dungeon card, and we have found a 4-way with an entrance to the catacombs. So we're going to pull a dungeon card, and it's an ambush. However, when you draw a new dungeon card, you may discard it and draw another. So we're going to get rid of that ambush, and we're going to do our second one. Now this one we have to face, and it is empty. All right, so on our next turn, we have to advance the sun. Let me just do that. Pull a tile. I think we're going to go that way. So I've pulled a tile, and we have found a dead end, a dungeon card we have to draw, so it is empty again. So now we're on our next turn. Got to advance the sun. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to choose to search. You know what? Since we're searching, I got to put the search icon on it so it can't be searched again. And hopefully we find a secret passage. And we did. We have found a secret door. So I'm going to take my little homemade little markers here, and we're going to place this door, I'm going to say over here. So we're going to pull a new tile. Oh, by the way, the secret door, maybe I should read the text. You may immediately move to an adjacent space. If the space is unexplored, place a chamber tile as normal. If you encounter a monster, you cannot escape. Okay, so we're going to put that away. Pull a new tile. And we have found, okay, not too bad, another catacomb entrance tile. And we have to pull a dungeon card. Let's see if we like this dungeon card. Dead adventurer, you may loot the body for treasure. If you do so, draw 1 card. Draw 1 corpse card. I'm going to go ahead and do that because I want rope, just in case we hit the bottomless pit. Oh, and let me put our little secret passage marker between those two so we know we could travel between them. And we have found the rope. Exactly what I was looking for. When you resolve a trapdoor or a hole in the roof card or a bottomless pit chamber, you may discard this card and automatically succeed in your attribute test. Excellent. All right, so on our next turn, got to advance the sun, pull a dungeon chamber tile, a corridor. So, actually, I have to declare which direction I'm moving. There's only one direction out anyway. So place that tile here. It's a corridor. So because it's a corridor, our turn continues without advancing the sun. And we have found, all right, it's a portcullis. So for us to continue, there's a portcullis on this side. So for us to continue, we have to test our strength. and it's 5, so we need 5 or less to succeed. And we failed, so we get a determination token, and that's it. Our turn's over. All right, so we're on our next turn. So we couldn't get into that chamber, but luckily we could move up this way. I am going to pull another chamber, and we have found another corridor. We do get another turn, and we have found a bridge. Okay, so according to the manual, it says, bridge. Upon entering this chamber, either end your turn immediately or move again by attempting to cross the bridge. To cross the bridge, test your agility. Add 1 to your dice roll for each loot card you have. You may discard any number of loot cards before you test your agility. If you succeed, exit the chamber as normally. If you fail, you fall off the bridge. Roll 1 die, suffer that many wounds equal to the result, and then you enter the catacombs. Well, I am going to end my turn immediately because we do have another path going up. Now we're starting our next turn. We advance the sun, and we have found another portcullis. So let's go ahead and test our strength. We do have 1 determination token to minus from the result, and we did fail. We do get another determination token. Our turn ends. We advance the sun, and let's go ahead and try to open that again. We need a 5 or less, and oh, we got a 6, so I'm going to spend a determination token, making that into a 5. So we have successfully opened the door. We pull a dungeon card, which we're allowed to skip, and we have found a passage down. So we're going to take our catacomb marker and put it there, and that's it. Our turn is over. All right, so it's our next turn. Advance the sun. We're going this way, and we have found, okay, actually this kind of works. It's a door chamber. It has a door, which we're not going to go through because we're going to move up that way, but in the meantime, we have to pull a dungeon card. And we have found a crypt. You may explore the crypt for treasure. If you do so, draw 1 crypt card. I am not going to. All right, so it's our next turn. We're going to move this way, and we have found a nice tile pointing us in the right direction this time, and it has an entrance to the catacombs, and we are going to pull a dungeon card. Oh, ceiling collapse. The ceiling gives way. Some paths are blocked by debris while other new paths are revealed. Rotate the chamber tile you are in 90 degrees clockwise. So we're going to rotate this 90 degrees clockwise, which doesn't hurt us because it still moves us towards the treasure chamber where we're trying to go. Advance the sun. I am definitely going that way, and we have pulled a 4-way chamber tile with an entrance to the catacombs, which we're not going to opt to use. I got to pull a dungeon card. Another dead adventurer. So no, I'm not going to bother. Advance the sun. Oh, now it's pointing us up. A card, and it's a hidden trap. There's the bad one I was waiting for. And draw a trap card. So now we're going to find out what our trap is, and it is an explosion. Suffer 4 wounds, and you lose your next turn. All right, so she goes down to 8 health. Our turn is over, so here's our next turn, which we can't do anything. We lost our turn, and now we're on our next turn. So now we're going to move this way. Oh, darn, it's a dead end. That is not good, but it is searchable. But we have to pull a tile first, and we have found an encounter with a monster. No, I'm not in the mood to fight monsters. So we're going to skip that. We're going to pull a second one. Now, actually, I'm an idiot. Why did I not skip the trap card? Anyway, dead adventurer. Once again, we are going to skip that, and our turn is over. So now we're on our next turn. So what we're going to do is search. Hopefully there is a secret passage. So we're going to take our search icon or search token here. We're going to pull a search card as our movement, and it is a secret door. So we're going to move this way. The next chamber is a simple corridor, which saves us time. And we go again because it's a corridor. But unfortunately, we have found a rickety bridge. Like, we could immediately end our turn here, or we could continue by trying to cross the bridge. And just to refresh my memory, we have to test our Agility. So our agility is pretty high. It's 7. We're going to go ahead and try. So we're going to try and get 7 or less. I already have some dice in the tray, and we've passed. So we get to go again. Oh, beautiful. We have found a corridor, and guess what? Our turn continues, and we have found, yes, it's a 4-way. Let's go ahead and pull a dungeon card. We can skip this card if we want. So let's go ahead and see what it is. Our torch goes out. While you have this card, test your luck at the start of your status phase. If you succeed, relight your torch. If you fail, you end your turn. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and not accept that one. We have to accept this one. And it is another dead adventure, which we're not going to bother. Next turn, advance the sun. Now we are in the treasure chamber. So let's see if the dragon who is guarding the treasure is awake or asleep. And the dragon is... Oh no, the dragon is awake. Discard all of your treasure cards. Then roll 2 dice and suffer the number of wounds equal to the result. How many dice? 2 dice. Oh boy. Okay, so we have 5. So we're down to 3 health. And then it says, finally shuffle all discarded dragon cards, including this one, back into the dragon deck. Oof, that is brutal. So let me go ahead and give this a quick shuffle. All right, so the cards are now officially shuffled. I don't know which is which. We're on our next turn. We need gold, so let's go ahead and see if this dragon is awake or not. And the dragon is asleep. So draw 2 treasure cards. On your next turn, you may either exit the treasure chamber or stay and draw another dragon card. Well, we're going to see what we got. We got 240 gold. We have found the Crystal of Taval, and we have found a gold ring worth 190 gold. The problem is Kreitzbeck right now is winning. We're going to have to stay and pull another card. So our turn is over. So we're going to stay and we're going to pull yet another dragon card. So is the dragon awake or asleep? It's asleep. So we're going to take another 2. So we're sitting at, what is that, 420 or 430? So, unfortunately, we found a lodestone worth only 1 gold. And 2,000, oh my, the Harp of Tranquility. While you have this card, you must draw 2 dragon cards. Each time you draw a dragon card, you may discard this card at the start of any turn. Oh my goodness. All right, so we're going to stash our gold, and we're getting out of dodge. So now all she has to do is find her way out of the dungeon. Advance our sun. So she's going to enter here. She has to pull a dungeon card, which she can skip if she wants. It is a crypt card. You may explore the crypt for treasure. If you do so, draw a crypt card. We're not going to bother. Advance the sun for our next turn. We're going to start heading out. And we have found, oh, not bad, not bad. It's a catacomb tile, and we could exit either this way or this way, but first we have to draw a dungeon card, and we have found another dead adventurer. I think that's it for the dead adventurers. I think we've pulled all 3. You may loot the body for treasure. If you do so, draw a corpse card. Well, we have our rope, so we don't need that. Start our next turn. Let's move. Do we want to go here or here? And we have found, oh, perfect. Oops, actually not perfect. Sorry, I misread that. This is pushing us up now. Now, we could make our way, of course, to there, but in any case, we have to draw a dungeon card, and we have found that it's empty. Turn is over, but look what's happening here. We're going to go, we have to move here. Actually, you know what? Maybe not, because this is going to waste our time. Right? If we go here, we could hopefully, yeah, let's go back in here and draw a dungeon card. We can skip it if we want. It's another search the crypt card. We're going to ignore that. Advances the sun, and we're going to move down here. And we have found, okay, it's a 4-way, which is nice. And we have found a Bottled Imp. It's a loot card. If you exit Dragonfire Dungeon, you may roll 1 die. At the end of the game, if you roll a 1 to 3, discard one of your other loot cards at random. Draw a treasure card if you roll a 4 to 6. Okay, so we have some more loot. So we have to advance the sun. Let's just go down this way. And we have found, good, another chamber. It's a 4-way. We have found a dead adventurer. How many dead adventurers are there? We are going to skip that. We're not going to bother. Our turn is over. So now we advance the sun. We're going to start moving towards this exit. And it's a corridor, but the problem is it pushes us up. But we don't continue the sun. So, okay, we found a 4-way. That's good. Oh, man, but that is killing time. And you know what? We are almost done. Man, that sucks. We pull an adventure card. It's empty. This room is empty. Nothing happens. And oh boy, this is not good. And we have found the room of emptiness. What we have to do is roll the dice. If we get a 4 to 6, we have to exit this way, which would help us. But if we roll a 1 to 3, we go back into this room and draw another dungeon card. So let's see what we get. We got a 1. Unfortunately, it pushes us back. We can't find our way out of the darkness. And now we have to draw another dungeon card, which I think we could skip. I'm pretty sure. We have found a lingering shade. Keep this card. While you have this card, roll 2 dice at the start of your status phase. Roll a 2 to 3, you're dead. 4 to 12, take your turn as normal. Discard this card if you enter the catacombs or exit Dragonfire Dungeon. We're going to skip that. Believe it or not, we're going to skip that using Chalara's ability, but we do have to accept this card, and we have found a shuffle. All right, so the cards are shuffled. As you can see, do a quick cut. I don't know what we're going to get. So we have to accept this card because we did skip that other card, which gave us a shuffle card. So this card is not skippable, and we have found that it is empty. So here we are at it's dusk. So we're on the number 1 on our sun track, meaning we have to roll 1 die during our status phase. If it's a 1, we're dead. If it's not, we continue as normal. And we have gotten a 5, so we continue as normal. You know what? We have to go this way because going this way is just, there's only 1, 2, 3, 4 possible turns left. 1. So if we enter here and escape here, that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, we are not going to make it unless we find a corridor. So let's hope for the best. So we're going to enter the room of darkness. We're going to roll a die. Hopefully we get a 4 to 6. Oh, God, it's a 1 again. I think we're done. We have to draw a dungeon card, and we have found it is empty again. I assured you, I shuffle this deck like crazy. So our turn is over. Move the sundial. Roll. If it's 2 or less, we're dead. Game over. And it is a 6, so we do continue. Let's go back into the room of darkness. Hopefully we get a 4 to 6. We got a 3, so it pushes us back. Oh boy, this is not looking good at all. And we have found a crypt, which we're not going to skip. We're just going to ignore. And here we are. Our next turn, we're going to put it at the 3. So if it is 3 or less, we are dead. And it is a 6, so we continue. Enter the room of darkness. Hopefully it's nothing but corridors. If we roll a 6, and we did. We got a 6, so we get to leave. So we're going to pull a dungeon tile. Come on, be a corridor. We need corridors. And we did not find a corridor. We have found a regular chamber. We have found an additional 40 gold. All this gold, and she's probably not going to make it. Our turn is over. We need nothing but corridors. So now we got to roll the dice for our status phase. If it is a 4 or less, the game is over. This episode is done. And it is a 4. So unfortunately, with all her gold that she would have finished in first place, definitely, she dies. Chalar and Bright Blaze die in the sealed dungeon. So that was episode 3. Now we're moving on to episode 4. So I'll see you then in the next episode.